Welcome back. Furries, you heard me, furries in Florida are feeling the impact of a new law signed by Governor Ron DeSantis that bans kids from attending live adult entertainment. The convention set for the fall has decided that in order to comply with the new law, it will no longer allow anyone under the age of 18 to attend. In case there's any confusion over what furry and a furry convention is, these are people who have an affinity, some may call it a fetish, or identity issues as an animal character with human traits. It might sound simple enough, think Mickey Mouse, Pokemon, Sonic the Hedgehog, but these are actually more sexual fetishes that are tied to this community. Take this research by a group called Fur Science. It asked furries if sexual interest had anything to do with them joining the group, and as you can see, this is the results. The vast majority of people said yes, at least in some shape or form. But others see bans on minors at furry conventions as a direct attack to the LGBTQ plus community. Surveys do suggest furries are disproportionately likely to be gay, bi, or trans. Rolling Stone's senior writer E.J. Dixon says, quote, GOP presidential nominee Ron DeSantis has successfully sucked the pleasure out of many life's little joys, from drag brunches to Disney adult TikTok. And thanks to the Protection of the Children Act, DeSantis may now be bringing the axe down on furries. Joining us now, Democratic Florida Senator Tina Polsky. Tina, thank you so much for joining us. Your take on, if I'm not mistaken, it's State Bill, is it 1438? Your take on it.
Thanks for having me on tonight. So the bill is labeled protecting children, but what it really does is one in a slew of bills that are anti-LGBTQ that the governor has put forth and has signed into law this past session. So this one, as you mentioned, doesn't allow minors, even with the parent present or with the parent's consent, to attend drag shows. They called it adult live entertainment, but that is what the focus of the bill is. It has nothing to do with this kind of convention that is coming up, but I guess in an abundance of caution, the owners of the convention have decided that it's not worth any kind of financial or criminal risk to have it.
But how is it a direct hit on that community? I am a parent, and my 8-year-old loves furry things. And if I didn't know any better and she went to that, and if she saw things that I didn't know she was allowed to see because I'm not privy, that is nothing against the LGBTQ plus community at all. I just don't want my 8-year-old to see something inappropriate.
This furry thing has nothing to do with the bill whatsoever. This is what's happening is as a chilling.
Well, then why did they cancel? Why did they change the age limit then? As a result of the bill, they changed the age limit.
I don't know these people. I don't know why they did it, except I read their statement and they said that in an abundance of caution, because of this bill, they don't want anyone to get into trouble. They could lose licenses or even worse. So that's the point I'm trying to make, is that way beyond the words, the text in the bill, is the chilling effect of any kind of, quote, adult entertainment or even non-adult entertainment, like a furry convention, which is not necessarily sexual in any way, is being affected. And it's just like what's going on in the schools with the books and the banning. It's going way beyond the text of the bill. And that is the intention of the DeSantis administration and the Republican supermajority in Florida, to chill any kind of open discussion, anything different from what they're used to. They're so afraid of change and new cultural norms that they are trying to legislate, as I say, legislate away the gay, legislate away culture. And you can't do that. They just can't keep up with the way culture is changing. And so they're trying to just stamp it out with legislation, and it's not going to work. But what happens is hurting a lot of people.
Since you're not on with the other side, I will say, first of all, there's a number of issues there that we could talk about. Republicans are going to say that the bill is intended not necessarily to snuff out conversation, but to shield children at a young age from having those conversations, to shield a child who is not of age from going to a furry convention, where if you look at some of the lineups, especially later in the evening, some of the events do seem to be slightly promiscuous. So where can we meet in the middle? How can state lawmakers, how can the executive, how can we meet in the middle and protect our children and not offend any group?
I have the perfect answer for you. It's the parents. And that is what they love to talk about when it comes to educational choice and when it comes to books. Let the parents decide what's right for their kids. If they want to take their kids to a drag show brunch where someone is dressed up as Mrs. Doubtfire reading a book, let them.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.